What's up, YouTube world? Thank you for watching another video. For those of you that don't know, my name is Nurse Kay. I am a registered nurse. I'm actually a new grad that works in the ED, and I basically wanted to start a YouTube channel to help fellow nurses and new grads like myself and just document my experience as I kind of tackle my first year of nursing. So if you're a new grad like myself, if you are a nursing student, a pre-nursing student, you're thinking about nursing, or if you're an OG nurse and you want to teach me some things, subscribe down below. This is for you guys. This is for me. Let's join the experience and let's do it together. With that being said, let's get started. I really wanted to make a video to kind of talk about what to expect as a new grad. I know when I was first starting, I was so excited, I was so pumped, and also nervous at the same time because you're not a nursing student anymore. You don't do just like 8-hour shifts or 12-hour shifts where you're not really in full control of the patients anymore. You are the nurse. You are the one that's doing everything. And so that transition is a little difficult. I feel for me it was a little difficult because you don't really have that much control. You don't really have that much, what's the word I'm looking for? You don't really have that much responsibility as a nursing student. You have this much compared to what you are as a nurse. Like, let's just keep it real. And so I feel like that really didn't prepare me for the shift change. But number one, and I think the biggest thing that I will say, and this is something that eats at me, and this is something I'm pretty sure eats at a lot of new grads, maybe OG nurses can relate to whenever they were new. You can't be hard on yourself. You cannot be super hard on yourself. I think that's a huge thing for me. When you go from being a student and you're learning all of these, different diseases, and they want you to go in depth about what it's doing in the body, to, okay, now you're in real world where people are critically ill, people are, in chest pain, and you have to start doing things super fast. Understand that you don't know everything. Like, that's just as simple as I can possibly say. You don't know everything, and that's okay because you are new and you are learning. You know what I mean? If you continue to go down the path of not trying to learn, that's when it's an issue. But you have to go into this job with an open mind. Be ready to absorb everything that you possibly can and learn every single day, and understand that your critical thinking is not going to be superior. It's not going to be like your preceptor. It's not going to be like these nurses that have been here. Even some of the nurses that have that graduated a year ago, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I can't wait to be like you. Like, if you graduated a year ago, you were in my spot a year ago, and look how you are. Like, I can't wait. You know what I mean? But you also have to remember that you are where you are, and you have to just accept that, be okay with that, understand that you will not know everything, understand that these doctors know a lot, you know what I mean, and a lot is expected from you, and that's fine. Go in with a good attitude. If someone's trying to teach you something, take the time to learn what they're trying to teach you. They're taking the time to teach you. So that would be my number one tip. Number one is to not be hard on yourself. There's going to be days where you're going to go home and you're going to feel like you sucked at everything. Like, you shouldn't be here. Like, you can't keep up. You're not fast enough. Why didn't I think of that? I couldn't get that IV. There's going to be days where it's like that. And then there's also days where you hit every single IV you possibly can. Like, you don't even need no help with an IV. You got your meds. You got everything. You're starting to understand. The only thing that will make you not a good nurse is if you get complacent and do not try to learn and grow each day. Your success is dependent on your attitude. So that's number one. Keep that in mind, guys. Biggest thing. Number two, I think is it's really hard to prioritize your time. I know when I was in nursing school, we did a whole bunch of questions like which patient would you go into first. It's one thing to ask these questions because you're kind of going off of the physiological aspects of it, and it's another thing to kind of have these patients like right in your face. Prioritization, making sure that you're prioritizing your time, making sure that you're prioritizing your patients, and who needs what the fastest. You get a chest pain that comes in, that chest pain is obviously going to be number one. Just trying to find the balance of, okay, what's more critical, what's more important, what task needs to be done first, what task needs to be done second. And sometimes, to just keep it 100% real with you, sometimes your prioritization scale is not the same as the doctor's, and that's fine, because they need their stuff done too. They need it in a timely manner, just like we have to do our things in a timely manner. Just make sure you communicate. I don't know how it is for the floor. I know you have to page and you have to call and you have to wait till they call back and things. So I know it's a little bit more difficult, but for us in the ED, we actually have our doctors there 24/7. So just communicating with them, hey, this patient's a really hard stick. I've tried. One of the other nurses have tried. I'm waiting for someone to be able to do ultrasound IV, and we will get that blood work. So they're not like keep looking up and waiting, keep looking at the computer waiting for their blood to result whenever I haven't even sent the blood. So number one, do not be too hard on yourself. Continue to learn. Critical thinking is not going to come with ease. Number two is definitely prioritization. I kind of started to talk about it, but number three is communicating. Communicating to your patient what's going on, what the plan is, because they start to get antsy. And just think about it. If you were in that situation, if you don't know what's going on, you don't know what you're waiting on, you don't know what's going to happen next, you're in this pain, you're in this weird place, you hear all these alarms, you hear other, nurses and doctors and patients talking outside your room, you would feel a little anxious as well. To aid in that anxiety and the frustration, let them know what's going on. It kind of calms their nerves a little bit. So make sure you're talking to the patients and make sure you're talking to the family members. It also makes the family feel a little bit more reassured too, that they know that their loved one's being taken care of properly. So communication, and then communication with the doctors. If you can't get to something, if you need help, don't wait to communicate that. Don't wait till you're drowning with all of your patients before you ask for help, if that makes sense. So if you're getting another patient and you have a time-sensitive lab or something you're doing in one, hey, use your headset. Hey, make sure that you're communicating to your team, and especially your charge nurse. I use charge nurse for everything. Like, charge nurse is my number one resource. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing on their part. I feel bad, but like if I have a question and no one else is around, I'm going to ask charge because they're just amazing and I feel like they know everything. Number 4 is going to be taking care of yourself. Huge. Actually, I think all of these are like number 1. Taking care of yourself, making sure that you're drinking water. Days that I'm able to drink enough water on my shift, I just feel more alive. It's time to making sure that you're eating properly. It's really hard to be organized right now outside of work, but just making sure you're getting enough sleep before your shift, making sure you're eating a good breakfast. Some days you get a lunch at 11, and some days you get a lunch at 3:30. Eat a good breakfast. Eat a huge breakfast. I can't stress that enough. You be alert. You have to be awake. If you have to keep a granola bar on you. I sometimes, if I don't drink coffee before I go to work, I'm not going to finish it. And it's very sad. It's a very sad day to throw away coffee like that for me, because anyone that knows me knows how much I love coffee. Making sure you're taking care of yourself before your shift and taking care of yourself after your shift. Number 5, you have to find a stress relieving outlet, because I feel like if you do not and you take this all home with you, it's really difficult on you mentally. If it's yoga, if it's working out, if it's, I don't know, anything that you deem stress relieving, definitely trying to work out, trying to eat right and things like that will definitely make your day better. So, with all of that being said, the advice I would give to you, do not be hard on yourself. Learn as much as you possibly can. Take every opportunity you can. Understand your critical thinking is not going to be up to par with these other amazing nurses that are on your shifts with you. You're going to have good days. You're going to have bad days. Don't let those bad days overthrow your good days. That's all I have to say, guys. It's a long video. I will shorten it, but until next